Just read the story. Read the story.
Okay, how do I sit down?
Apostrophe. Oh. It's next to the enter, man. Apostrophe.
Yeah. Just missed it. Okay.
It's probably just in their hidden comma.
No, I wasn't in comma. I was the one beside it.
Okay. Tell it. You got it. Bruce linked it.
Okay. Oh, is it the first one or the second one?
1702.
17. Really? 1702?
Apartment 1702.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, son of a bitch.
It was like highly rated, so I don't know. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not.
Okay. Fuck. Now we got this guy that I don't know and it's awkward.
People.
I don't-
Who we monster.
In-game voice.
Nah, you can't read both at the same time.
Yeah, I've tried. When I was 10 years old, I lived in an apartment building that was rather special. While there were normal elevators that opened up outside an apartment, in some of them, there were card readers that, provided you had a functioning card, take you to... Can you not do that, Josh? Seriously? Provided you had a functioning card, would take you to your floor and open up inside your apartment. There were 3 homes to each floor, and so there were 3 elevators, but I won't get into that. But essentially, the only way you could get into a room with those elevators was if you had your apartment's card. Mom never failed to remind me of this, probably brought on the fact by that I never remembered to grab it when we went out. The night before our family moved away from the area, our friends hosted a party for us by the complex's swimming pool. Just as the parents were breaking out the wine and had settled into comfortable conversation, friend A, friend B, and I decided that we wanted to get a gigantic floating bed from friend A's apartment, which was 1802 on the 18th floor. We got into the elevator, scanned A's card, and laughed about how cold it was being in the building after getting out of the water. We grabbed the float without incident, and B and I got into the elevator while A turned off the lights. Suddenly, I was holding the open button. The elevator beeped 3 times, and its doors slowly began to slide shut. "What's going on?" B asked, and I shook my head in confusion as my finger jabbed at the unresponsive button. Clang! We could hear A yelling in protest beyond the metal walls, but the door wouldn't open. We yelled back that we could get back to the first floor and meet her there. She agreed, and went out of the door of her house to take one of the normal elevators. B, looking slightly uncomfortable, pressed the 1 button. It didn't work. As we stood there shivering, the lights in the elevator switched off without even a flicker, and the machine emitted a sighing sound, as if it were shutting off. We were alone in the dark. Then, something on the panel blinked to life. I sighed in relief. But looking closer, I noticed it wasn't the 1 button. It was 17. It had illuminated all by itself. We weren't too concerned, as people on other floors did need to use the elevator after all, until B suddenly remembered that nobody lived on the 17th floor in 1702, and no one had in the last decade. To our complete and utter horror, we felt the elevator slide downwards. It ground to a halt, and the door slid open soundlessly into pitch darkness. B and I were too petrified to move, and we huddled together in the corner of the tiny compartment. After what seemed like hours, a faint creak echoed from the darkness, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood straight up. I didn't dare look beyond the frame of the metal box. But just as the echo of the creak faded away, there was a louder thump. And then, a thick, sticky noise, like the sound of a wet mass being dragged and lifted across a long distance. Thump, drag, thump, drag. The sound suddenly stopped, breaking out the stupor. B quickly reached up and began smashing the close button with all her strength. All of a sudden, the sounds, disturbingly near, started up again, faster than before. Just as I heard the sounds round the corner to face the elevator, the doors, somehow, had begun to close. A moldy stench suddenly blasted me full in the face, and as the doors finally met, something smashed into the impenetrable material from the other side. A slapping sound, immediately recognizable to me as the sound of some kind of flesh on metal. B burst into tears. The elevator seemed to drift downwards. When the doors finally opened, we were met by A, demanding to know what we'd been doing without her. She had called the elevator from the first floor to come look for us. I shuddered, not wanting to imagine what would have happened if she hadn't. Promising that I'd tell her later, I spent the rest of the night scarcely venturing away from the crowd at the pool. No explanation was offered to me and my friends about that night, despite our questions. Not from our parents, not from the security guard, who had worked there for the last 4 decades, and least of all from our frightened minds. Eventually, I came to a simple conclusion. Taking advantage of its emptiness, something evil had taken up residence in apartment 1702. Dun dun dun.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh,
That's terrible.
stupid.
I know.
It's horrible.
Oh, it's scary at all.
Oh, I said
Hey,
we shoot. I said we shoot Aiden.
Kishu gets up.
No, he's aiming at me.
Kishu's already gone. He's already in the mist, Aiden.
No! Stop it!
All I saw was Kishu just disappear.
Ghillie suit's really good.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Uh-oh. Oh!
Oh, fuck!